Hey, how's it going, guys? The Guitar Gamer here. Doing something a little different today. This is my first time in the Xfinity car in quite a while. I've driven this car maybe 5 times. I think I've done 2 races. Actually it's one race, I believe, but I managed to get a really fast lap time here in my first 50 laps in the car on this track. This is the first time on this track with the car, but like my fourth time in the car in general. So I wanted to just put out a guide for it because I noticed it's faster than the guide that I normally use. So what I went with is 14 to 1 plus 863. We'll start out in the cockpit here. We'll go through the build up. So I didn't even do a run up on this. If I had went high and taken a run up, I probably could have shaved another couple of tenths off. But um, and this is with like 5 laps on the tires, so there's a little bit of tire wear. The tires aren't even fresh for this, so probably do better than this. So here's the build up. So once you pass this Iowa sign here, I go about 2 car lengths, 3 car lengths, and then I'll get up to about 20% brake, 25. And I'll usually try to cut down here. I'll usually try to have my right tires coming in right here. So 25% on the brake, start to trail it off, work your way down to the bottom. And once I get to the bottom, I trail off, go up to about 50% on the throttle, and then I'll just slowly increase the throttle as I'm coming off the line and coming up to the wall. Notice here you don't really get much by getting on the throttle too early. You get more tire spin than anything in this car. So that's something that's taken some getting used to coming from the ARCA car. You got a lot more power. So full throttle about 2 car lengths from the end of this patch here. Take it up to the wall. Not much here in the way of markers. I guess you could say you've got this little swirl out here, this little tire mark. I guess you could use that. Once you hit that, about 25% on the brake again. Coming in a little higher in 1 and 2, trailing off, and then a little more brake. I went in a little hot there, so I went back up to 25 and trailed it off again. You can see I'm coming down the line a lot later here, and I'm on the gas before I even get to the line. A lot more aggressive on the throttle on this side. 75% as we touch. So by the time you touch the line for the late apex here, you're at about 75%. And just as you're coming off the line, you'll go to full throttle. You got to watch coming through this area here because you've got some transitions in the surface type. So you're going from the newly paved to the older, and then you're clipping the new again with the right tires. So you can spin out here if you're not careful. So as for this side, I wait about 1 car length after I pass the Iowa sign, but you can also, there's another little swirl there on the track. You could use that. So we're doing it just like we did on the build-up lap. 25%, trailing it off. And then once I meet the bottom, holding it just a split second longer, and then starting on the throttle at about 50-60%. Just testing out how much grip the car has. And then once you get to these white dashes here, you're going to start to come off the wall. Still holding about 75%. And just as you pass the mortgage sign here, you'll start to slowly work it up to 100%. And then once again, your left tires are going from new pavement to old to new, so just be careful here. Any amount of wheel, you're going to have a good chance of spinning out, so just be prepared to counter steer here, and you're coming out of the banking too, so a lot of factors here that can cause the car to get loose. So like something I've learned in road racing is, you know, you've got this banking here, and then you kind of come out of the banking. So what happens is when you cross this little bit of a crest here, the car gets lighter, and it doesn't take much to spin it out when that happens. So just that combined with the pavement, different types of pavement, a really good chance to spin out. So there you go, that's a 23.896. And we'll play it out one time uninterrupted. So yeah, just playing it out one more time through the chase cam.